Now to Afghanistan. I want to introduce you to some of the people U.S. government officials used to call the worst of the worst. These are 4 of the one-time Guantánamo detainees that the U.S. released in a prisoner exchange for American military deserter Bo Bergdahl. They spent 13 years in the military camp. Now we're going to introduce you to some of the new Taliban government leaders in Afghanistan. Here they are, 4 of the newest Taliban government officials. Look familiar? One, now the Taliban's acting director of intelligence. Bill Roggio is the editor of Long War Journal and a senior fellow at the Foundation for Defense of Democracies. Bill, you've been quite active on Twitter talking about this. The Taliban government may be new, but a lot of the names are not.
Yeah, that's absolutely right. This is the same old Taliban. We did a rundown of these individuals. Most of these individuals who are members of the Taliban government today were members of the Taliban government from 1996 to 2001. The 4 individuals you spoke of right here were actually held at Guantanamo Bay and released in exchange for Bo Bergdahl, the U.S. soldier who defected in, I believe it was 2009 or 10. The U.S., I mean, to me, it's stunning. This is a perfect example of how the U.S. did not understand the enemy, the NATO as well, and did not take out the Taliban leadership because they all sat on a shelf inside Pakistan and prepared for the day that they directed their insurgency, and they were successful. The U.S. left. They got the U.S. to leave. They tired us out after nearly 20 years of war, and they returned.
Yeah. So what are the optics of this, Bill? Essentially, we're going to be negotiating with people we once held prisoner.
Yeah, the optics are horrible. This administration, the Biden administration made a monumental mistake, not necessarily in withdrawing. I'm actually sympathetic because our strategy in Afghanistan was horrific. Our military commanders and our political leaders have been incompetent. The last 3 administrations' policy for Afghanistan was to leave, so you're never going to have success in any way, shape, or form under those terms. But how he left set the Afghan government up for failure, and it put these individuals in charge. And now that there's Americans trapped, and there's hundreds, I'm hearing over 1,000 Americans who want to leave Afghanistan.
So how do you leave, Bill, without leaving some forces there to prop up what we had in the government and the Afghan forces?
Yeah, it would have needed to be a change of mission. The problem with this all along is the debate has been, how many troops are we going to have in Afghanistan? Well, if I would have said we're going to have 5,000 troops in Afghanistan and they were all cooks, what difference would that have made? We needed the right force structure to do the mission. And if that was to prop up an Afghan government, then that's what the mission needed to be. But if it was going to be withdraw, we needed to withdraw in a way that prepared the Afghan government to defend itself, because it was dependent wholly on the United States for air support. And we needed to wean them off that, not pull the rug out, and expect the Afghans to just remain on their feet. All right, that's what happened here, and that's why they failed.
Right. Bill Roggio, editor of Long War Journal and a senior fellow at the Foundation for Defense of Democracies. Bill, it's good to see you. Thank you for your time.
Thank you, sir.